Both sides relied on a defensive brand of combat known as trench warfare. All along the Western Front, soldiers dug a system of below-ground trenches, shielding them from enemy arms and artillery, but setting them up for a grinding war of attrition in which the defender always held the advantage. At its peak, the trench system in World War I stretched more than 400 miles, from the Belgian coast to the Swiss border. The trenches of World War I were certainly notorious, but we bet you didn't know that trench warfare actually dates back to a 17th century French military strategy. It was originally developed for the purpose of attacking enemy fortresses, but improvements in small arms technology, like rifles and cannons, would make trenches a fixture during the American Civil War. With the increased accuracy of rifles, especially when loaded with new, more efficient Minié bullets, it became a waste of men to keep them above ground. Union forces led by Ulysses S. Grant dug 53 miles of trenches during the Battle of Petersburg alone. While the Civil War may have seen the birth of modern trench warfare, World War I saw the creation of much larger, deeper, more elaborate trenches. This meant that conflict could rage on for years, with not much movement of the battle lines. The typical trench system in World War I consisted of a series of 2, 3, 4, or more parallel trench lines running in a zigzag pattern. Each line of trenches was at least 1 mile in depth and was connected to the others by perpendicular trenches used for transporting food, ammunition, reinforcements, and battle orders from base camp. It might surprise you to learn that dogs were ubiquitous in the trenches. They delivered supplies and messages, and even carried ropes to the wounded soldiers shot down in front of the trenches, enabling them to be pulled to safety without risking more lives. And who would have thought that trench warfare created a fashion classic? During World War I, the British Army commissioned Burberry to design a coat to keep officers warm and dry in the trenches, what we know today as the trench coat. Made from waterproof gabardine fabric, the coat came complete with belt loops that could be used as grenade hooks, along with big pockets to hold everything else. New technology developed during World War II, including tanks and airplanes, meant that trench warfare would have a smaller role in future conflicts. But it was a crucial strategy in military history in a lot of ways we bet you didn't know.